Welcome to another edition of Fitness Fridays. I'm Aaron Parsegian. I'm here joined with Casey Stutzman of the Performance Locker. Casey, we're here to talk about interval training. So what exactly is that?
That's a really good question. So in people's cardiovascular workouts, interval training has become super popular because the idea is instead of getting on a piece of equipment or a modality for 30 minutes at a constant speed, maybe if we spike the intensity up and then rest and spike and rest, we can actually get more work done in a shorter period of time. Plus we're starting to push thresholds a little bit more. So when we effectively interval train, we see possibly better results because we're starting to push higher thresholds. So a good interval section is about hitting different levels of intensity. So we really want to make sure that we're dialing that in. So what we're going to do is you and I, well, mainly you, we're going to hop on the bike and we're going to talk about different levels that we want to hit and then how we would feather those into a good interval type workout.
All right, sounds great.
So first we want to dial in our different zones. There's a couple different ways we can do this. You can use a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being like almost napping, 10 being the hardest you've ever worked. We can also break it down into colors. So generally a green is going to be a 2-3 on a scale of 1 to 10. So we're going to find green right now. So go ahead and get your pedals going. Now we have a cadence monitor on here, so on the bike. Now we're using the bike today because we can demonstrate, but you can do this on a treadmill, jump rope, rower, any cardiovascular modality. So on the bike, we generally want to keep our RPMs 80 to 100. So that's going to be a nice quick range.
Get going.
Yeah. Not too fast, not too slow, 80 to 100. And we're going to stay in that range for the most time. So right now, this is green. You could do this all day. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you're around a 2-3. Now to get up to the next level, the only way to get there is to add some resistance. So we're going to add enough to get up to like a 4, 5, 6. That's going to be blue. So how's that feel?
That's starting to feel it.
You're starting to feel it a little bit, but could you do this for a long time?
Definitely.
Totally. So there's a difference between green and blue. Green is just kind of all-out recovery, low resting heart rate. Blue, there's starting to be a little bit more worker effort. So it's like, think of commuting to work. You know, you got somewhere to be, but you're not sprinting. Yellow is about a 7-8. There's some work there.
That's like going uphill.
Perfect. Think moderate hill. It's not the most insane hill you've ever been up, but you know that you're working. So we're starting to get, and you see now it's getting harder to maintain that
80.
Over 80. So we're still trying to stay quick and light. Orange is a 9. And stay over 80. Stay over 80.
Might have to stand up for that.
That's okay. You can. Totally fine. But try and stay over 80. So orange is a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. Keep it going. And then we're going to find some red. Drive. Hard, 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 hard. You got it. You got it. You got it. And now we're back to green. So how can you tell the difference between orange and red? Orange, you should be able to talk but not want to.
Yeah.
Red, you shouldn't be able to talk.
I was going through that. I was staying silent for most of the time.
See? So you were right where you need to be. So at orange, I can talk but I don't want to. So if you can carry on a conversation, you're probably blue or yellow. If you can't talk, we are definitely in red.
So this interval training is really great, but I'm wondering, how can I put this into an actual workout?
That's a really, really good question. So one thing we always want to remember is there's an inverse relationship between intensity and duration, which basically means the more intensity of a set, the shorter it needs to be. So as duration increases, intensity will naturally drop. So for example, if you want to do some red level pushes that can't talk, keep them short, like 20, 30, 40 seconds max, and that's where you're going to get that high level of effort. We always make sure that we need to make sure that we have proper recovery time. So if I just try and push red after red after red with no rest, eventually your body won't be able to hit those high points anymore. So we push those high levels and then we recover and push and recover. The higher amount of intensity, the more rest we need. So for a red level push, if I go for 20 seconds, I need to rest for 40 to 60 seconds. Go for 20, rest for 40 to 60.
So at least double every time.
Yeah, double to triple on the reds. Orange, on the other hand, can maybe be a little bit less.
Yeah.
So like, since the intensity is a little bit lower, maybe I go for 30 and I rest for 60. And I just double that one, but maybe not triple it. If I get down to the yellows, again, it's going to be, so there's always that inverse relationship. So we can start off with simple and effective. If you keep your intervals on the minute, let's say we're going to do red for 20 seconds.
Okay.
And then we'll do 40 seconds of green or blue recovery. Or we could do orange for 30 seconds. And 30 seconds of green or blue recovery. And we just repeat, 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 minute after minute.
Awesome. So say I want to go do an interval training session, either bike, rowing machine, any sort of cardiovascular activity like that. What would how long should I plan for that workout to last?
I'd say start with like 15 to 20 minutes. Because again, your overall intensity is going to be higher because of those spikes. So it doesn't need to be 30, 45 minutes, especially at the start. So start with like 15, 20 minutes. Make sure that you're spending time properly warm up and down regulating after. So for example, if you want to do 15 minutes of intervals, take 5 to 10 minutes to do some sort of activity to start to get yourself up to those levels, and then spend a few minutes on the cool down side to let your body start to down regulate. So a 15-minute interval session is going to end up taking you about 25 minutes, give or take.
And then should you do any warm up before you go out and do one of these, or?
Absolutely, absolutely. Really, the harder you're going to push, the more warm up you need. So that's a good rule of thumb. If I'm pushing red level intervals, I need to spend more time on the warm up. But if yellow's as high as I'm going to get, then I can warm up a little bit less. Minimum 10-ish minutes. A varying activity, it could be some mobility work and some light movement, and then spending 5-10 minutes on the bike just to kind of
Get the pedals going.
You got it.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much, Aaron.
Well, sports is next with Kyle Logan. Stay tuned.